Coming up on 8:05, foul balls, strikeouts, and forced outs. They could be part of an upcoming game where no one loses.
Yeah, that's because it involves everyday heroes playing each other for a good cause. And Fox Carolina's Myra Ruiz is joining us live with more on all of this. Myra.
Well, good morning. We're outside Fluor Field in downtown Greenville, where tomorrow Greenville police and firefighters will play against each other for the second annual Heroes softball game. Now, during the first Heroes game last year, first responders played against each other to raise money for the Shriners Children's Hospital. This year, the beneficiary will be the Julie Valentine Center. Police and firefighters say, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter which team scores higher.
Means a lot for the community of first responders and also the community of Greenville. Being able to have a friendly competition between the opposing departments.
It's definitely a friendly competition. With competition, it breeds improvement. But we hope to beat them. But at the end of the day, we're still brothers and sisters.
The police and firefighters say they are honored to play for the Julie Valentine Center, which in many ways is like a first responder and more in cases of child abuse and sexual assault.
Anyways, we are there when the crisis occurs, and then we are there afterwards to support with resources, with counseling, and really with helping folks navigate the storm that happens when you're impacted by child abuse or sexual assault.
The Julie Valentine Center helps people in Greenville and Pickens counties, and last year the center served more than 2,400 people. The Julie Valentine Center is giving people a chance to help police and firefighters to sort of score more points before the game actually happens. They created a QR code so people can choose to donate money while casting votes for either police or firefighters. Now, the Heroes softball game again is tomorrow here at Fluor Field. The gates open at 4:30. The game starts at 5:30. Admission is free, but organizers are asking people to sign up ahead of time. And again, they are asking them to cast a vote for either police or firefighters. Last year, we're told the game was pretty close until the end, but police ended up pulling ahead and winning the game. Reporting live in Greenville, Myra Ruiz, Fox Carolina News.